Listen up. I love a good corned beef sandwich from a New York style deli. The only problem is I live in South Carolina, which is super far from New York. I could get it shipped here, but that costs a fortune. Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own corned beef sandwich. So I'm not going to lie, it takes a few days to make, but the results are going to be amazing. Let's head to it. Corned beef is a brisket that has, for lack of a better term, been pickled. It's been submerged in a brine. Now, a brine is just a mixture of salt and water and flavorings. And in this case, because we're dealing with beef, we are using a curing salt to make sure it retains that nice red color. If not, it turns like really gray and it's not appetizing. In a nutshell, a corned beef is really a pickled brisket. Ooh, brisket pickles. New business idea. Let's make brisket pickles. I'm gonna go work on that. So let's talk about our brisket. So here's our brisket. We have two muscle groups in the brisket. You have the point cut and you have the flat cut. The flat cut's gonna be your leaner portion, and the point cut is gonna be your more fatty portion, your more juicy portion. There's much more fat over here than there is over here. When I'm making a corned beef sandwich, I prefer the leaner cut. I think it makes a better sandwich slice. Well, if you are opposite of me and you like a more fattier cut, then you can go ahead and use the point cut if you want. Heck, you can brine the entire thing. Today I'm going to show you how to separate the point cut and the flat cut. First thing we do is we flip this beast over, fat side down. Let's talk knives just for a quick second. At Butcher Wizard, we've made a line of butcher knives that are specifically designed for these projects like this one. We have a 10-inch breaking knife. Now that's perfect for briskets because they're so big. We can get in there and really take off all that fat, separate the muscle groups, all that stuff we need to do with this knife. After it's cooked, I'm going to show you this in a little bit, but we also have a 12-inch slicing knife. Now this is great for when the brisket's all done, when the corned beef is all done, and then we're going to have to slice it all the way across the grain. This is a great knife to do so. There's also a 6-inch boning knife. If we need it to get into any of the smaller areas, this is what you need to use to get that finer work done. So we also have a 6-inch boning knife. If you buy the 10-inch breaking knife and the 12-inch slicing knife together, there's a 20% off discount on Amazon. You go and you look at for the brisket bundle. Or if you go to one of the listings for either one of these knives, it'll say, hey, do you want to bundle it? Well, hey, let's bundle it, okay? You save 20% when you bundle these two knives on Amazon. Again, save some money. As always, the recipes, the links, everything is in the description. Go check it out. All right, so you can see this grain right here for our flat cut brisket, okay? And the point goes underneath right here. There's a portion of this where you can see where the flat cut ends and the point cut begins, and there's this seam right here. Well, we're just gonna go ahead, and I'm doing this kind of backwards, but you won't have to do it quite backwards like this. But you're gonna, right in between where this fat is right here, you are going to go ahead and make a cut. We're gonna pull the flat cut back as we are making these incisions, and it's going to release. You're just following that seam all the way through and pulling back as you do so. And once we've kind of released that, we will go ahead and cut straight down, separating the point cut and the flat cut. So we have the point cut, which is our fattier portion. You can see it's got fat going all the way through it, and you can trim that up. We can smoke it. You could grind it for hamburgers. You could do a whole host of things with the point cut. But the flat cut for me is I'm gonna cut probably this in half so it fits into my container to brine it, and we're gonna brine our corned beef. Let's head to there next. All right, so this is our flat cut brisket. So we've turned it over, and then we're just gonna take our breaking knife and we are going just to clean up all of the fat that we can. You can leave some of this fat on if you'd like, or you can go ahead and take it off. I find that especially for corned beef, what we're doing here, that the leaner is the better. That's my opinion. So you can just go ahead and brine this whole thing, or you can go ahead and take off some of this fat so that that brine really gets into where the middle of the meat, where it needs to be. But this knife's great for that because we can just take it all down pretty easily. Remember, none of this gets wasted. This is going to go into, you can make beef tallow if you separate the fat from the lean. You can grind it and make hamburgers with it. So we have a lot of options with brisket fat and brisket trim. Makes great hamburgers. From here, we're just going to kind of like round it out. Just straighten up the edges. And then I think we are about ready for our brine. Let's go make our brine next. All right, to make our brine, we got cold water, we have kosher salt, got brown sugar. We have pickling spice. Now, pickling spice has bay leaf, allspice, clove, mustard seed, and a whole bunch of different spices, and it all comes together as pickling spice. Last, we have our pink curing salt. This curing salt is going to give our corned beef, it's going to retain that nice red color in the middle. So it's a very little amount of the curing salt, but it really helps out so you don't have a big gray piece of meat when you try to slice this thing up. Take your whisk until that salt dissolves. We're going to take our brisket and put it in, submerge it into the liquid, pushing it down so that it's completely submerged. Now this gets covered, put in the fridge for 7 days. About halfway through the time, you're gonna flip your brisket to make sure it gets on both sides and everything is completely submerged, and the water and the curing salt and everything is doing its job to flavor the inside of the meat. It's gonna be great. All right, now we just wait for that 7 days. I guess we'll just go and play cards or something, hang out. All right. See you back here in 7 days. All right, so we're here 7 days later. I know it's weird, I'm wearing the exact same shirt. That's really weird, but you'll figure it out. This is our flat cut brisket 7 days later. It's been sitting in this brine, doing its thing. We flipped it one time halfway during the week, and man, we are ready to cook this thing. So we're gonna take it to the sink. We're gonna take out the solution. We're gonna give it a quick rinse. Get all that stuff off of the outside of it. And then it's gonna go into a slow cooker. We're then going to cover it with a combination of chicken broth and water. And then we're just gonna let it cook in a slow cooker on high for 3 hours. Make sure we can really get that tenderness from the corned beef. So here is our corned beef. It's been in the slow cooker with that chicken broth for about 3 to 4 hours. Feel free to leave it in for longer. If you got 5 or 6 hours, go ahead and throw that in. It works. It's even better that way. The only thing left to do is to slice this thing and let's make a sandwich. That's what we're here for, to make a delicious corned beef sandwich. You can see that all the grain goes one way, and we want to cut against the grain going this way. So it's really actually pretty easy to do. We're just gonna go ahead and use that knife, use that nice slow strokes there. I think it's hot. All right, let's get a little nice and even. You see the reason that we had that curing salt is because here we have the nice corned beef, that nice red color. Well, that is only gonna happen if you have that curing salt. If not, it's just gonna be a gray piece of meat. So if you want that traditional corned beef red color, you're gonna have to use the curing salt. And again, I really like using the lean portion of the brisket for the flat cut for sandwiches. I think it just makes a better sandwich in my mind. If you like a juicier corned beef, a fattier corned beef sandwich, go ahead, use the point cut or do the whole thing. If you got a big enough container to brine it in, do the whole thing. It's up to you. Snag a little piece, a little taster. So good. Oh my God. So good. Tender, falls apart, has the saltiness and the spices all the way through. Man, this is done. Again, it takes a little bit of time and effort, but man, it is so worth it. Let's make a sandwich. So we're gonna do it like they do it at the deli. Boom. We don't need a lot of bread. We're not here for the bread, people. We're here for the meat. We're gonna take this piece of rye bread, we're gonna cut it in half, hit it with some mustard, and we're not gonna be shy. We're doing like they do in New York. We're gonna pile this thing high with corned beef. We're not gonna be shy. We're not gonna hide from the meat. Now that is what I'm talking about. Now that is a sandwich. I don't have to drive all the way to New York to get one. I can get one in my own house. Oh wait, let's get the pickle. Let's get a knife down the center. Boom. Now this is a corned beef sandwich. We have, I don't know how I'm gonna eat this thing, but we're gonna give it a shot here in a second. But like I said, the rye bread is barely hanging on to all that meat. Whew, this is gonna be really good. All right, do we dare give this thing a taste? Let's see. All right, whoo, this is a big sandwich. This is messy. This is amazing.